j'ai le syndrome de la Tourette, ils vont dire « Ah, les insultes !» Non, déjà, c'était pas ça. J'aime pas qu'on me dise, quand je fais un tic d'épaule hyper violent, qu'on me dise « Ça va? Tu as mal ?» Non, faites semblant de rien. Évidemment que j'ai mal, je le fais 3000 fois par jour, oui, mais je veux dire, au plus on me porte d'attention, au plus on me caractérise par ça, au moins je suis à l'aise. Faites comme si j'étais quelqu'un de normal, je suis quelqu'un de normal.
Atypical, as someone with ADHD, it is so powerful and wonderful to see these people speaking their truth to their various different atypical natures and their struggles and their gratitude for how they manage to get through their everyday life despite these things, and how they maintain relationships with loved ones and with the external world itself, despite how isolating these conditions can so often be. This is an extremely relatable piece, again, to those who might struggle and live with these things, but not those who suffer from them, because they don't allow to just be defined by suffering, but by thriving and living instead.
I found this to be a really sensitive and interesting exploration of neurodiversity. I love the variety of stories that it showed with, people with all kind of like different types of neurodiversities and really different life experiences. And it definitely didn't show a completely negative view, didn't show a completely positive view. It really showed the realities of life. For people with Tourette's or ADHD, and I like the kind of the focus on family and people who, like the father who had ADHD and his son also had ADHD, and it was like very moving how they were able to understand more about their brain and their way of thinking, and they were able to kind of learn how to manage it. And yeah, it was very inspiring how they were looking to kind of help their children in the future with it.
This is for Untypical. We have this marvelous documentary exploring neurodiversity through the testimonials of amazing people sharing aspects of their lives and some family members' roles in their interaction as people with autism or Tourette's or dyspraxia or ADHD. It is going through their daily lives as they navigate going through their daily lives and the different anxiety and outright fear of things that a regular normal brain would not struggle so much. And it was so eye-opening in so many different aspects. I really loved learning about some of these symptoms and how treatments are falling short sometimes. And it's just the life goes on, and it's totally amazing how they overcome those challenges and all the negative connotations that people have and having to live through that. It's to be proud of course, and it's an amazing documentary. I loved it. It is sensible, the right approach, and I learned and I loved it.
In the short film, Atypical, it is a documentary film that follows a series of day in the life vignettes of those with neurodivergent conditions, whether it be autism, ADHD, Tourette's, HID, some of the more familiar challenges that we see people go through, and the normalcy that lives behind them. I think this documentary goes out of their way to showcase very different people with different likes and strengths and capabilities and challenges throughout this film. We get to follow a fashion designer who is autistic, And we get to see that they struggle the most when they're stressed, and those challenges of what they go through, from what could be just having a shift at work be a success. We watch someone struggle, go and shop for a handful of items, I think like 10 items or less on a list. And it takes them an hour and a half to accomplish this, which they say in the documentary is a world record for them. So we get to see these humans go through their daily lives, their experiences, and we get this insight as to what these experiences look like and how they deserve to just be humanized and seen for more than their challenges. And I think that's a good example, especially with Katie, or in the documentary, the girl who has Tourette's. You know, she has all these tics, and she has this point in the documentary where she says, I do this tic 3,000 times a day. Of course I'm in pain. Of course I'm feeling my body have these tics, but I'm more than just my tics. And so that goes to show that we are more than the challenges that we face. But if you have the right dedication and the time and efficiency, you can work through these things and still live a regular life. And I think that's what we get to see through these individuals.